What's going on, guys? It's Jake Lima from Barbers and Beards. I'm going to show you guys how to do a low skin fade today. Come check this out. So first, to start out, I'm going to brush the hair down and we're going to skin out the sideburn area. Then we're going to take our shaver and bald out the sideburn area. Then we're going to take our clipper with the lever down, so open. We're going to create our next guideline. And with the low skin fade, I like to keep this line coming down on an angle. That way we can make sure the fade stays nice and low. So keep it really close and tight to the ear. And drop it down. Just create our guideline for this low skin fade. And we'll close the lever a little bit. Work this guideline out a little bit. Close it a little more. And then completely close at the bottom. Next, I'll take my one, open, lever down, and create my next guideline. Remember, keep this next guideline just how we did our first guideline. Keep it going down on an angle. And I'll close my lever about halfway. And then close it all the way. And for the most part, there shouldn't be much of a dark shadow in between the guidelines. And if there is, we're gonna come back with our 116 and we'll take care of that. Start with the 116 open, lever down. There's not really a line here at all, but we'll just make sure that it's nice and smooth, the transition. Close it a little bit. Now we're gonna take our two, open, lever down, and create our next guideline. Remember, we're gonna follow the same guideline, going down on an angle and then leaving some weight up top. That way we can blend that in after. So we'll have a nice transition. Lever closed now. Actually, you can go halfway open first, then completely closed. Now we're gonna come in with our 1.5 guard, open. Lever down. We're gonna work this dark line, or this weight line if there is one. Not really there, but we'll smooth it out just to make sure it's a nice transition. Close it halfway, then close it all the way. That should be pretty good. Low fade's probably about 80 to 90% done. We'll come back with our 1 open, just in case it's a little dark. Like I said, make sure this transition's nice and smooth. Dust them off. Make sure we clean the area so we can see if the blend needs any work or not. Randy, do you keep this like natural here or no? Now we're gonna come in with our trimmers, do some detail work, make sure the bottom of this skin fade is nice and smooth. Slightly clean up his arches, trying to keep it, you know, very natural. My low skin fades, I like to line up behind the back of the neck. I think it gives it a real nice clean look. So you could definitely keep the back of this, you know, skinned out and slightly blend it out or taper it out, but I like to have a nice faint line there. I think it just makes the blend pop much more. See that low fade's coming together really nice now that we put some detail work in with the trimmers. And he likes to comb his hair over and do a hard part, so what we're gonna do is wet the hair, part it, or find out where it naturally parts, I should say. That way we can put his hard line in. Also, we can blend this out and make sure there's not too much weight on this side. So it looks like, I mean, that's pretty good. Just try to get it about, you know, the best you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but try to follow that natural hairline. If you have to touch anything up after, you can do so. Make sure the hair is nice and damp, especially when you're gonna do scissor work. Very important. Now we're gonna come in with some thinning shears and take some bulk out of here. I like to do my thinning shears first, that way it helps keep a lot of that weight there, but takes, you know, a lot of the bulk out as well. Helps with that nice smooth transition. You can see some of that weight starting to come out of this area. Then we'll come in with our cutting shears in case there's any longer hairs that need to be trimmed. Make sure you're lifting the comb off the head. That way it's lifting the hair off the head, so we're not cutting in too much. Just the hairs that are overhanging outside of the comb. Right now you have a pretty smooth transition. It's a little dark in here, so we're gonna come back with our clippers and just kind of flick out and take that little bit of weight out of there. This is my 2 open, coming back right up into my guideline where I left off. Just nice and easy, watching the hair come through the clipper guard and through the clipper blade, making sure we're not taking too much. Pulls it about halfway. Close it all the way. Take our 1.5 open. Close it about halfway. Close it all the way. Take a step back, look at that. That low fade's looking pretty dang good. He likes to leave this nice and natural on the head. So we're gonna leave this natural right here. Now that the fade's all done, we'll come in and we'll throw his hard line in. Use the comb to push the hair out of the way. That way we can create our guideline, or our hard line, I should say. And I'll start with the trimmer upside down, drawing the line in. And then I'll also flip it around so it's facing upwards, and come back in and just draw this line and make it a little more defined. That's it. Dust them off again. Make sure our working area is clean. We're gonna apply some level 3 shave gel. This is gonna help make sure skin doesn't get irritated. You know, it's gonna provide a nice shave with the razor. I don't put too much, just apply a thin amount, you know. Less is more when it comes to this stuff. I'll put a slight amount on the hard line. I'll come in with my Irving straight razor, one of the best straight razors in the game. Love this thing. Brush this hair out of the way. Make sure we can put a nice hard line in there. I go nice and easy, short strokes with the razor. We don't want to make this hard line too thick. We want to keep it more natural. Remember using our comb if we need to keep that hair out of the way. And rule of thumb too, when, you know, just another little tip, when I do a hard line, I usually use the ear as a reference, and I'll go slightly just past the ear. You don't want to take the hard line all the way back, you know, to the back of the head. You want to keep it like right where the ear is, or just past is perfectly fine. Now we'll come in, do his arches. Always shave down first with the razor, causes less irritation. Have him look up a little. Done, we'll come around to this side. Go nice and easy against the grain, kind of define that arch a little bit more. That should look pretty clean. And we'll come in here. Make sure you stretch the skin with your thumb around the ear. And I like to push the ear right out of the way, and then even use my other finger to stretch the skin in between. That's the key to shaving with the straight razor. Make sure you stretch the skin. Slightly tilt his head this way. Actually, sorry. I'm gonna shave this down first. Shave with the grain. Go nice and easy on the back of the neck. And be cautious of how you angle the blade. A lot of people, when they're new barbers, they'll nick people and cut people by accident. It does get tricky getting in some of these spots, so very important to note. Then we'll come back in and go against the grain, reverse shave with the straight razor, making sure to stretch the skin as well. Nice clean line. And that's it. So that's the low skin fade on the left side. And now we're gonna work over to the right side, and then we'll go over the back. This side's all done. I'm gonna show you guys how to work on the back for the low fade. Come in and skid out the bottom of the neck. Making sure our line's pretty even going across. Grab a shaver, bald out the bottom. The way I look at low skin fades is it's basically like a high temp or a high taper. And these haircuts are definitely one of the most trendiest and popular for sure, because they're just, you know, very sleek, classic look to them, you know. Come in with my clipper open, creating our first guideline. Closing the lever about halfway. Closing it a little bit more, and then closing it all the way. And in the first part of my career, I used the floating levers, so the click levers are, I like them, but I mean, it doesn't make a difference for me which one I use. But for being a new barber, the click levers are awesome because it just helps, you know, keep you to remember where you're at in your fading and your blending process. So it's really important being a new barber. Now we'll come in with our one open. Creating our next guideline. Close it about halfway. Close it all the way. With our 1/16 or half guard open. Close it a little and close it all the way. Notice how we're starting to meet our guideline from when we did the sides on the low fade. So we got to keep that in mind, remembering to keep some weight up here. We'll come in with the 2 open, make sure we're kicking out. Close it about halfway. Close it all the way. We're gonna come in with our 1.5 guard. Open. Close it about halfway. Close it all the way. A little dark, so I'm gonna come back in with my 1 open. Just kind of use the corners. Just paying attention to that dark spot. It's okay for it to be a little darker right here. That's natural. A lot of people have, where the occipital bone is in the back, it's like a dark spot because it indents slightly on everyone's head. So that's normal to see that be a little darker right there. I'm closed with this 1, just kind of picking. A little spot, so I'm gonna come back in with a 1/16 open, even though I know it's probably not an open 1/16. It's probably about halfway closed. Yep. I'm gonna close it all the way. So we want this blend and this transition to be smooth. Come back in with the 1 open. Just laying up this spot just a touch. Perfect. Wet the hair down. It's also very good to pay attention to how the hair grows. He has a cowlick in the back, so you want to make sure you're brushing the hair the way it naturally wants to fall. Come in with our thinning shears and take some of this bulk out. Remember, lifting the hair off the head. Bulk out. I'll grab our cutting shears. Open. Looks pretty good, but just want to make sure. Too closed. closed. Do a lot of lever play here just to make sure that the fade comes together very well. That's something that if you're a new barber, you'll get comfortable with over time, and you're paying attention to your fade and your blending technique. Clean them off. All the excess hair off with the blow dryer. You can see this low fade is looking really clean, really nice. Randy hasn't had a haircut in a while, so this haircut is much needed, overdue, and I don't know, but I just feel like haircuts, they just hit way harder, you know, when it's been a while since you've had a haircut. So, but anyways, we're gonna come in with the trimmer, make sure there's, you know, if there's any neck hair that's lingering. Just kind of make sure the bottom of this taper, this low fade is nice and clean, the transition. Also, another little tip and trick I'll give you guys is after I use the straight razor, I'll even come back in with my trimmer and I'll lightly touch this line up to make it pop a little more. A lot of barbers don't know about this little trick, but this trick is very good. There you go. Fade's complete. Now we're gonna do some scissor work on top. Now we're gonna cut the top. Making sure the hair is nice and damp. When I cut the top, I like to start in the middle section. I'm gonna take a good amount off. Remember, when you're cutting with scissors, try to pick that last guideline up and follow it. We also don't want to go too short in the back because we don't want his hair to stick up back here where his cowlick is, so make sure we keep that a little longer. I'll come through this section, following the guideline in the front. Said he wanted to take this pretty short, so we're going to take it pretty short, give him just enough to brush over in the front. Check on the side, make sure our transition from the top to the side looks good. There's no hairs overhanging. See all that excess that I'm grabbing as I pull the hair up. Make sure you're pulling the hair straight off the head. Very important. Come in with my trimmers first, just to grab any of the longer hairs, and this will also cause less irritation if I was to shave his whole neck with the straight razor. Then I'll lightly come in with the straight razor. And then I'll use my shaver because this causes a lot less irritation and it gets it nice and close at the bottom. Powder them off. Now that he's all shaved and cleaned off, I'm going to dampen the hair just a little bit. We're going to put some product in. We're gonna use some level 3 pomade. Has a really, medium to strong hold depending on how much you use, you know. So we're gonna use a little bit in his hair because his hair is not too thick. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply about a dime size, put it in between our palm, make sure we massage it in, disperse it evenly, and then lightly open our fingers and run it through his hair. We don't want to put too much in one spot because then it will just make the hair real heavy and kind of like mat it and glue it down, and we don't want that. Come into where the part is. I like to make sure it's nice and separated, a little on the end. Keep the hair down. I'll grab a wide tooth comb. Just give it a little more style. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like the video, and please let me know what you guys want to see next. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thank you for watching.